Okay guys, so in the past business psychology videos, you've probably heard me talking about your RAS. What is your RAS set to? So RAS stands for Reticular Activating System. So if you can imagine, I've got this picture right near of the brain. The RAS is the idea that there's modalities in the brain, right? Okay, so submodalities. So what are they? So if you can imagine your senses and what brings senses into the body, what gives your body, your brain input? Well, first of all, you've got your eyeballs, you know, the sight, the vision. So the visual input goes into the brain. Secondly, you've got touch. So you've got touch stimulation as well that sends messages to the brain. You've also got your hearing submodality, and you've also got things like your taste and your smell as well. So in this data that's getting sent to the brain all the time, there's billions of pieces of information. I mean, if you was to look around the room right now, what sort of things are there? You know, there's bits of data everywhere. There's color, there's all sorts of brightness going on. There's all these different visual things that are going on in the world that's going through to your input, your visual input. But you can only actually select something like 7 of these things at a time. So what filters that out? Well, this RAS system is the filter for what's going on. So if you can imagine all these pieces of information that are coming through, and not just the visual, but you've got the hearing, you've got the touch, you've got temperature of the room, you've got everything that's going on, the smells. All this data is just absolutely bombarding your brain all the time. So what it needs to do is your brain needs to filter this out, and this is what the reticular activating system does. And when it filters it out, it can only pick these 7 pieces of information at once, so you can focus on it. So your subconscious mind is there always processing it, but what your reticular activating system is looking for specific things to keep you on track. So if you can imagine, what sort of things are they? Well, it's like a sophisticated filter basically. It screens out all the junk, all the thing that doesn't matter right now, but it also keeps us safe because there's things that are going on. If you can imagine crossing the road, when you first cross the road, you know, you have to be very looking for cars, looking for vehicles, listening to the sounds, looking around for different dangers that could be there. You know, you take your first step, is it the right? You know, you've also got to think about your body functioning as well. So you've learned to walk from a child, so your body automatically knows how to activate the body to walk in a certain way. You know, are you going to run across the road? Are you going to walk across the road? How are you going to act? So you can imagine that your body is a very complex system going on right now with all these bits of data that's going on, and it needs filtering down to what's the most important to us. So if we're crossing the road, then the goal would be to get to the other side. So why does this apply to business, Lewis? Well, let's think about this. If you was to go into your business world right now, you was to go into your work environment, think about what's going on. You've got something going on over here in operations, you've got something going on over here in sales, you've got something going on here in accounts, and different people. There could be 20 people here within sales, 10 people in operations, 5 people in accounts, all trying to put your attention onto you. So where does the information go? Well, we need to set our RAS, don't we? This is what we talk about, setting our RAS. So if our RAS is set for firefighting and being the boss that comes in there and tells people what to do left, right and centre, well, guess what? Your RAS is going to be set for firefighting. Yet, if we was to have some sort of plan in place where our RAS is set for, right, okay, we want to move towards the future and move towards new set goals, then we're going to look for more evidence. We're going to look for those signals that allow us to move forward. And this is where it really gets technical, guys. So think about this. If you got this RAS set that you're only going to come to work and do the odd things and do the same thing that you've always done, right? If we listen back to the videos that we've done before, we understand that to get to new places, we need to take different actions. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So if we want to get different results, then we need to start doing different things. So if we set our RAS to different things, then we're going to start getting different results, because our RAS is going to look for these bits of evidence that are out here, yeah, and prove us right to fit with our values and beliefs. We spoke about values and beliefs as before. If our values and beliefs are looking for things to stop things from moving us forward, like, oh, that would never work in my business, or I can never become a millionaire, etc., etc., then look, we're going to look for all the information that's out there that's going to support our RAS to say, right, okay, that ain't never going to happen. But If we was to start to change our RAS, to start thinking differently, right, okay, change our beliefs, these things can happen to anybody, that's a change in belief. So if we've got a change in belief now, we're going to start looking for a different area and go, right, okay, the information that was out there before of all these people being negative, or the information that's on Google or whatever that anybody can create, we're going to start looking at those and start looking at evidence that proves that we can do it. Yeah, and as we look for evidence that proves that we can do it, we're going to start looking for more evidence that gives us the skills and the knowledge to actually get there. And if you look back on the videos to do with the iceberg, then you can start to see how this can start to change our results as well. So our RAS then, what does it do? It allows us to focus on what we value. Yeah, if we value things right now that okay, let's say it could be we're trying to protect our business right now. We've got all this stuff with coronavirus going on, so the value is protection and scarcity and survival. Then we're going to look for things that keep us in this sort of survival mentality. But if we look for things out there where it's opportunity, then the value is going to shift, so we can start to see different things going on as well. The RAS isn't just set for this. I mentioned talking about getting across the road. RAS allows us to set levels for threats as well that could be out there. So you know, if our RAS is set for we've got to be in protection, then anything out there we could start thinking very pessimistic about stuff as well. So like I say, you know, the whole way the subconscious is going to work here is that it's operating to get us through the day. It doesn't operate to move us from a new place, though. It wants to be comfortable. It wants to protect us. You know, we can also think of the reptilian brain, which is situated at the bottom of the brain, that is fight or flight. Yeah, so if we start to come across anything new, then we're going to turn around and go, hey, look, okay, we need to move away from that, or we need to tackle it. So you can start to see how sort of, you know, these things that we see where people's beliefs get spread across social media and stuff to try and scare people, you know, how the media really reacts to this sort of idea of the subconscious brain, the reptilian brain, and the reticular activating system. So where is your RAS set there? Is it set to look for evidence out there to support your goals, or is it set to keep you safe? Because if you want to go out there and reach new goals, you need to start doing things differently, and that can also include a lot of fear. The brain is there to keep you safe, but if we want to really focus on new things, then we've got to start changing that state of our mind, the state of this reticular activating system, and set it towards success. So looking for support out there, looking for new ideas out there, looking for reasons why it will work rather than why it won't work. So there's a saying, isn't it? The ship in the harbour is safe, but that's not what ships are built for. So if you want to achieve more greatness, or you're getting frustrated in the place that you are right now, then just think, is this my true purpose? Is this what I'm meant to be doing? You know, because I see a lot of social media posts too that talk about, like, oh, it's okay to be in this place right now, it's okay to be there. Yeah, that's great, but that's being passed on by an opinion from somebody who has their RAS set for safety and it's comfortability. Yeah, if you want to achieve new goals and get to places that you've never been before, think about who you're listening to. Think about who's in your world and who's influencing you, what sort of posts that you're looking at, and what to believe. Because depending on the context, there's always going to be something else to focus on in a different way. So I hope you've found this useful, guys. Ask the question, what is your RAS set for? Are you looking for evidence out there? Are you letting those things in through your senses to support your goals, or are you allowing them to turn around and go, you know, well, actually, it's not that bad, I'll just stay where I am? Because that's what's going to make the difference of you getting to that next level.